beautiful and you're ready.
Yes. You know, we planned this a while ago, so I'm like, let's get this. So I'm excited to be here.
Thank you for being here.
Yes, absolutely.
Tell us your full name and the name of your company.
Yes. My full name is Robin Beltran. The name of my company is the Black Vegan Company.
Tell us why you started the Black Vegan Company.
So ultimately, the Black Vegan Company was started out of gun violence that happened to my family. My husband had just gotten off of a bus and was shot at gunpoint in the large intestine, small intestine, and colon in a robbery. And after the robbery, it shredded his intestine walls. He had multiple surgeries and ended up leaving with a colostomy bag for 2 years and rehabilitation surgeries over the course of 3.5 years. And after all of those surgeries, ultimately, we figured out that he could no longer process meat anymore.
Oh, wow.
And through not being able to eat meat anymore, our household, as a half Latino, half African American household, we said, okay, how do we go vegan? Because we don't know what that really means or what that entails. And also, how do we make it culturally relevant for who we are as people with flavor? Because we are food connoisseurs. And what does that mean for us in that Black-brown space? And so we ultimately started taking our traditional family recipes from my grandmother and his family and different things that we both enjoyed, and we just started remixing them and trying them on friends. And as a result, the doctors before said that he would never be the same again. And what ended up happening was he pretty much healed himself in 3 months by going vegan and by eating this way.
Wow.
And the same thing happened to me. I was extremely depressed and had anxiety and acne, and my hair wouldn't grow, and I was always tired and angry. And literally within 2 months, I went from a size 10 to a size 2, and everything changed mentally, physically, our endurance, our relationship, everything. And so after we kind of discovered the changes, we said, if other people in our communities are suffering from, gun violence, which we know a lot of people in our communities are, or issues that we go through, traumas that we go through, and if your food can be the change in that, we can really do something really magical. And I'll never forget listening to a Tupac track, and he said, you have to change the way to eat, change the way you think, and you'll change the way you treat each other. And that's how I started, that's what happened to us. And we just kind of had this awakening. And one of our business partners, Rolando Rodriguez, came over and ultimately wanted to, have the change happen within himself as well. And ultimately invested into the company and was my first client. And he saw dramatic changes, and that's how the Black Vegan Company got formed. And it was really a Black-Brown alliance about how we were going to speak to our communities about the food that we were eating and what that meant for us and how we could change the course of our lives by changing what we eat.
Nice, I like it.
So
I think both African Americans and then the Hispanic culture, our foods are just heavily laden in animal animal meats and fats and processed goods. So how have you seen the shift or the acceptance of this new lifestyle with the incorporation of traditional recipes?
Right. At first, I got a lot of resistance. I'm a Black girl from the South. My husband comes from, a traditional, Mexican background, and then also with his mother. And, one of the things for us is when I told my family I was going vegan, my grandmother was like, honey, you're not going to come in my kitchen and take my meat away. You're just not going to do it. I think it's cute what you're doing, but that's not, going to happen. And, she was very resistant to it. But as she started to see me, she would see that my body had shifted, and she would say, are you eating? And I'm like, grandmother, I'm happy, I'm healthy, I feel good. She's like, yeah, but you look skinny. I don't know about that. I'm like, yeah, but I feel great.
Yeah.
And so the more I started persisting, the more that things happened for me in my own career. I started landing movie roles and started working with my agent, and I got signed, and my family started to kind of change the way that they looked at me, and they could see that I was feeling better. And that I started to look better, and I started to walk differently. And so then my grandmother would say, hey, I was watching the Chew and they were making this vegan dish. Like, why don't you come over? I'm going to make it with this, but I'll make it separately for you this way. And then she would just start cooking that way naturally for herself. And a couple days out of the week, she would have vegan options. And then the same thing with my mother. And so the more that we kind of got to have this communal experience in the kitchen where we were like, hey, meet me halfway, meet me 80-30 or 80-20, you know, and I'll, you know, just incorporate things. They started to open up more, and we started developing more things in the kitchen to where I'd run around the corner after making a big pot of vegan chili and be like, Grandma, taste this. Like, does this taste like your chili? And I would use the same ingredients, and she'd be like, girl, I didn't know that was vegan. How did you do that? You know?
That's so cute.
And so it started to grow, and that's how we started testing the recipes. It was with friends and family, and started incorporating what we all liked, and that's what a lot of my menu is today. So.
Nice. So do you have a background in cooking, or you just cook just for fun or for your family, or?
They have stories of me as a baby, like singing and dancing around food. I played collegiate volleyball, and my coaches would let me kind of plan out where we were going to eat on the trips based on the menu, because they knew I was so excited about all the stops through backwoods Missouri or, you know, for all these places. And I've always had a real passion for food. It came from my grandmother and always being in her kitchen. So I've never been a classically trained chef, but everyone's always come to my house for Sunday dinners. I was always a spot to go to when people were wanting to be fed. And I really thoroughly enjoyed feeding people, and the ability to satisfy people, and also to be able to guide people to a healthier space now. And when you can like make someone's taste buds pop and they think that they're eating the most unhealthiest thing for them, but it's actually helping their body, it's like, there's no better feeling than that.
Yeah,
so,
that's great.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think is the biggest misconception about vegan food and the vegan lifestyle?
So I think there's a couple of things. One of the biggest misconceptions about vegan food is that people always question, where am I going to get my protein? Because vegan food doesn't have any protein in it. And they all say it just like that in that voice. I'm just kidding. And the other thing too is that it's not going to be satisfying. You know, that's something that's really important for me. I don't go in to eat just to like fill up. I really have to have all the notes resonate with my soul.
Okay.
And I don't like piss poor food.
Okay.
I just don't. I am very thoughtful about the people and the ingredients, not just for the flavor, but also, you know, paprika relieves inflammation. Pink Himalayan sea salt still has the minerals in it, so it rips and pulls out all of the toxins and, you know, all of the impurities in your body. Crushed red pepper helps with inflammation, so if you suffer from arthritis, it can help with that. Turmeric does the same thing. But when you take all those flavors, they have great impacts on the palate. And so you start seeing that vegan food can also resonate as culturally relevant and flavorful and pop off of your plate. And that's really important, is going into it, letting people know, no, vegan food is not only going to be satisfying, but it's going to be good for the soul. Okay. Like, we're going to make something really, and this is like real soul food, not the slops that we were given to us as slaves, but this is what we're actually going to do to cure our mental illness and the way we move and the way we think and the way, you know, we feel. And so that's the biggest misconception that we like to kind of steer people towards and say, no, look at this thoughtful portion of food for our people.
So you're basically what's redefining the term soul food.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
I like that.
Yes. And it's food that actually is really good and truly for the soul. You know, your food should enable you to do and be better, not to, you know, put you down on a couch to knock you out to have you sleep.
Yeah.
You know, there's no wonder that you're not being productive in life, because your food is slowing you down. If you wake up tired and lethargic, if you're angry, if you're, you know, you hurt or you're in pain or mentally you're not strong, if you change the way you eat, all of those things will change and evolve as well. So we like to take the misconceptions about vegan food being celery sticks and, you know, salad because we don't do that. I mean, we can.
Tofu.
Right, and tofu, which I cannot stand. I can't stand tofu. I can't stand it. I don't cook with tofu if I can help it. I don't like it. Yes.
There you go.
No tofu.
Okay. Thank you for that. I like the answer. Perfect. Okay, so you named a couple of different ingredients that you say you feel add soul to the food.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned Himalayan pink salt, turmeric.
Mm-hmm.
What was some others?
Crushed red pepper. One of the things we're actually cooking with now, we're currently on tour with Central Market.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that we've been incorporating and cooking with is adaptogens. And adaptogens are mushrooms and roots from India and Asia that help you adapt to the daily stressors in life. And so they support your adrenal glands and they help with, your mental state or mood. My husband battled PTSD terribly bad after his shooting. Yeah. And we had to throw out the medication because it was just way too much. And it turned him into a person that we didn't recognize. Mm-hmm. And so after getting rid of the medication and going a more holistic route and switching to adaptogens, the man was dancing, for 45 minutes at a time after taking mushrooms. And I'm like, why are we not telling people this? Yeah. Why are we continuing to give them these medications? And so cooking with hemp has one of the highest sources of protein in any plant that there is. So why are we not cooking more with hemp? It's legal in the state of Texas. Adaptogens are not the ones that are going to give you, put you on a psychedelic trip, but, they're sold at Central Market, over your countertop, or over the counter. So little things like that you can find in your grocery store. Turmeric helps with inflammation if you're inflamed in your gut or you need to flush your system or detox. Yeah. So it's like using all these things to cook with, you get all of the nutrients that you're going to need. So
beautiful. So what is your favorite vegan recipe or ingredient? Vegan food, what is your favorite?
Okay, so I'm a little bit all over the place because how I cook, I wake up in the morning thinking about food. I fall asleep at night thinking about food. So whatever I'm craving, I think about my favorite dishes that I've gone, to try at other restaurants. And I try and recreate those things that, give me that. Because at some point, we weren't able to afford to go out to restaurants after everything happened with my husband. All of our money was gone. Whenever I go to other restaurants and establishments and food really resonates with me, I'm always inspired to go home and recreate that with what I have. I always cook seasonally. I work for Johnson's Backyard Garden, which is the largest organic farm in Texas. And so
Texas?
Mm-hmm, in Texas.
Wow.
Top 10 in the nation.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a huge farm right in East Austin. It's all local. They service HEB, Central Market, Whole Foods, Wheatsville. So, and then they also have a huge presence at the market here. The gift and the curse of that is the gift is you're always, eating amazing organic food, but it's also seasonally. So things that you fall in love with, they might leave for the season and you're heartbroken. That happens like 4 times a year, where you're like, there's no more dill. What are we gonna do until next spring? And then Thai basil comes in. So you're like, I can do that. But when you go to establishments and when you have that inspiration where you're so excited, you get back in your own kitchen, you're like, all right, what was that taste and that flavor? I want people to be just as excited about the food that I cook to want to recreate that, because I can't always be in the kitchen with people. So even though I do cooking lessons and grocery store tours and I want to be there to be your guide, I want you to be self-sufficient as your own vegan chef, if you will. If it's for just one lunch for the entire week, or if it's every day, 7 days a week, 365. So it's exciting and it's fun. And I always love recreating food from other places. So my top 2 recipes, one everybody loves. The reason I love it is because as a mom, it's quick, it's simple, it's easy, it satisfies the palate, and it hits home. Are our famous flautas that we are cooking on tour with Central Market. Okay. But for the past 3 years, we've just been making flautas everywhere that we go, in Houston, San Antonio, Austin, and Dallas, for the past 4 years, and people just lose their minds. I've actually seen people almost get in fights over flautas at the grocery store, and when the new batch comes out, And it's so simple and easy. If you want the recipe, you can go on the blog, theblackvegancompany.com. Our famous blog, that recipe is there.
Okay.
And you have everything. They're so simple and so easy. We also have a few videos on our Instagram page that we've made about the flautas. But my secret one that no one's tried yet, that we're actually sneak peek for 2020, working on a cookbook.
Oh, nice.
One of the things that we've been testing right now for one of the recipes is fried chicken. And so one of the things we've been doing is taking mushrooms like lion's mane and oyster mushrooms, and taking them and making like chicken fried steaks with homemade gravy, but making our own batters that are actually helpful and healthy with the body and that correspond with the body. And whenever we actually fry the chicken, we fry it in avocado oil. And it's just got this amazing crunch, and it tastes like Popeye's chicken, you know? It's really fun, and we've been doing some really exciting things with that at home. So I'm excited to get that one out to everybody. So those are kind of my two.
Okay, so we have a cookbook on the way.
Yes.
We have some chicken coming down the
Yes.
line.
Yes.
Okay, that's great. You mentioned some things, and I just kind of want to segue into this question.
Mm-hmm.
So what services do you provide? What services does the Black Vegan Company provide?
Yes, absolutely. So we do an assortment of things. We do education series.
Okay.
We do grocery store tours where we take you to your local grocery store. We meet you, whether it's an H-E-B or Central Market. We usually do one of those two because everyone is kind of in those areas and zones. And they also have a wide array of product that you can find that's vegan friendly and cost efficient. Okay. And so what we do is we show up at your local grocery store, and we take you through the entire store, not just the food, in the produce section and the dry goods, but we also take you through your deodorants and your soaps and your facial cleansers and your makeup, different things that you can do to adapt and change the elements of chemicals that go into your body. And so we do a lot of fun with that. We do pop-ups. We do catering events, and one of the other things we're going to be doing are private dinner parties. We're looking at doing a partnership right now with Dr. Ben's, where we're going to be doing a celebrity private dinner party for South by Southwest. Yes. Okay. So stay tuned for that. And then we're going to be doing adaptogenic parties. So there's a lot of different things that we do. And then we also do, at some point, for some of our other clients, meal prep and private, things in their homes to be able to help them.
Okay.
So.
Nice. Okay. What do you want viewers to know about the Black Vegan Company?
One of the things I want people to know, there's so much happening in veganism, and it's so fast. It's almost like the Facebook, where you can't project the future of what's gonna need damage control, and what can harm you in ways. And so one of the things I always like to share with viewers is, one thing about the Black Vegan Company is that we're also and always going to be a very honest and loving and guided way in the vegan space. And we're a space that's not critical of the way that you approach vegan. My company is made up of a Peruvian, a Black female, myself, a Mexican female, and a Mexican male. And, just as we differ in our ethnicities, we differ in our stages of veganism. One of us, is not vegan, but has a very healthy lifestyle, but his family is vegan. One of us has tried veganism, has gotten on the wagon and fallen off and on and fallen off and on and fallen off, and maybe gone to pescatarianism, and then switches a couple of days out of the week. And then we have one that, for the most part, is pretty dedicated as a vegan, and, occasionally will indulge. And then you have one that's just strict vegan, and that's our makeup of who we are. And that's how we're going to approach each and every person. So a lot of people come and say, oh, I can't use that service because I'm not vegan, or, I can't commit to that because this isn't what I'm looking to do. We're just here to help be a guide, again, whether that's one lunch out of your entire week or month, or just so you have the information, or whether that's you want to commit to it 7 days a week. And no matter what that is, we're not in a space of judgment. And I think the vegan community has to be more inclusive in the way we talk and approach veganism. and stop demonizing people. And here we're just gonna find that way to, we'll give you a little bit of tough love, but at the same time, it's gonna be from the heart, and we're really gonna care and really be enthusiastic about your steps and your process wherever you are. So.
I like that. I think a lot of people who are even considering a healthy lifestyle face judgment, especially depending on what end of the spectrum they're on.
Right.
So it's really, really important to be open and inclusive and, oh, you're not vegan because you eat honey or something, something like that. Yeah. So I really appreciate that y'all are taking that into account, especially with our community, because food is such a sensitive topic.
It is so sensitive. You can get beat up. I have been threatened in people's homes before by taking their meat away. They literally, and it for me too, because for Black and brown communities, the kitchen and the dinner table, sometimes that's all we have. Even if we've got, it might be a pot of beans, but when you have your family and your grandma does whatever she can to make that pot, you're like, we don't have any money. I don't know what you put in this pot of beans to make it taste like this. What did you do? Yeah. It's an important time for us. And so when you try and separate our identity from us, which is defined in our food, you're going to find a lot of resistance. And so we're not going to just strip it from you. We're going to show you how to evolve and to elevate your food.
Beautiful. I like that. So I just kind of want to just throw these quick questions out. And they're kind of, I don't want to say the rapid fire, but kind of under the...
Yeah, let's do that.
Favorite meat analog? I don't even like that term. Meat alternative. Favorite meat alternative? Beyond Burger or Impossible Burger?
Neither. Mushrooms.
Okay.
I don't do... alternative meats are one of those things where I feel like we can look down into the future and question how they have operated with our bodies. Things are still processed. That's one of the other things I want to educate people on too. Just because it's vegan doesn't mean it's good for you. So I try and stay away from those. I say make your own and make something better, because I guarantee you're a better chef than Burger King.
So, no to meat analogs, no to alternative, no to Beyond, no to Impossible Burger. What is your favorite vegan beauty product? My blog is mostly about beauty and fashion.
Yes.
I incorporate the wellness. Just so you know, I have a background in nutrition,
yes.
So that's why I love nutrition and health and all of that. So what is your favorite vegan beauty product?
So I have a lot. So one of the things I also do is I substitute out buying products over the counter into things that I can use, like moisturizers or different things for my skin. My favorite vegan product is baking soda.
Okay.
Yes, baking soda is the most amazing facial scrub. If you get the one that has the yellow top on it, the one that's sealable, it's kind of gritty, and you just add a little water or a little bit of your favorite moisturizer with it, and it exfoliates everything. It actually gets rid of all of the dead skin cells, so if you have dark spots or anything like that, the acid actually removes it from your face.
Really?
Yes, and I used to have really bad cystic acne, and it was the only thing that helped me. Girl, life changed. Literally, I scrubbed my whole life away. It's great for the backs of your legs or your bum in the summertime. It also brightens and lightens any of the dark.
So you feel like it lightens your, like, any dark marks?
Yes, I can't tell. If I had pictures, I would show you pictures if I could. I promise you. And my husband actually was just telling me yesterday, he was like, you don't even look like the same human anymore. But that's one of my favorites if you're just, looking to buy something in the grocery store. But my favorite cosmetic that I love Cover FX. Is one of my favorite foundations that I work with, because it just feels really light and like lotion. It feels like a moisturizer. It doesn't feel like makeup.
So you use the liquid as opposed to the powder?
Yes.
Okay.
I do have some of the powders as well, but the liquid is one of my go-tos. They're little, the smudge stick that they have, some of the different ones. And I feel like it goes with your skin and it's not so makeup-y.
Okay. I like the baking soda tip. I'm gonna have to try that.
Yes.
Because I love skincare products. I like baking soda for brushing my teeth.
Yes.
It's good for removing stains. That's one of my favorite uses of baking soda. What music are you listening to right now?
Oh man, hardcore. Okay, so so there's a few things that I'm listening to right now. I've been really excited about moving to Austin. Since I've been here, I actually just shot 2 amazing music videos.
I saw one of those.
Yes. One with The Suffers, who is from Houston.
They're big.
They're huge.
Yeah.
Our music video landed on Billboard, was where it premiered.
Okay.
The Suffers, Cam Franklin is my spirit animal. She is amazing. You're a rock star. I love you. You know how much I love you. She was just so instrumental in, working with me and getting me more projects, and working with Nate, the director, who works with Toby Nwinwi, who is just an amazing talent out of Houston, Texas. Niger Stand Up. Southwest SWAT Stand Up. It's been super exciting to work with Nate, the director, who's one of the most talented Black and up-and-coming directors that there is, and we recently worked on Kevin Ross. He's based in Houston.
Okay.
But we just worked on Kevin Ross's new single, Thing Called Love, for his new album Audacity, which was number 3 on iTunes. So I've been jamming them a lot just because their albums are all so incredible. But I'm also loving Black Pumas right now, based out of Austin, I believe they are. And Toby Nwinwi, he's super jamming right now. I love him because my son is able to listen to him. He's 8 without, he can be a really dope lyricist without, and also learn how to treat women and approach life as a real man. Which I love about Toby, and I'm like, jam that, with my 8-year-old, I'm like, go, I don't have to worry about censoring out anything. His father's also an amazing musician, so we have his albums and his playlist on repeat, because he's always making albums, so we have to listen to his music, whether we like it or not.
Okay.
So he's a favorite, always in our house, so.
Perfect. That's great. Okay. They want to know, what else do you have coming down the pipeline, or what can they check out right now?
Yeah, 2 of the music videos that we just did. Check out The Suffers. Get their music. Same thing with Kevin Ross, by Audacity. We're going to be dropping a clothing line with the Black Vegan Company merchandise, which we're super excited about. So it's under design right now.
Will it be ethical?
Yes.
I'm all about ethical.
It will be ethical. I'm very excited about it too. Okay. It feels really good, and they feel like they're going to be some of your favorite pieces that you're just going to want to throw on and continue to wear over and over again, which I get excited about. A couple of commercials that will be dropping. I'll be in a UPS commercial coming up here soon.
Okay.
Working on a couple more film projects. Evelyn by Evelyn, our film just dropped on HBO. If you go to your HBO Go or on demand, you can find it there. An Uncomfortable Woman that I played the lead in was shot here in Austin. We're going to be premiering in Hollywood this weekend at one of the film festivals.
This weekend? So you're going this weekend?
I'm actually not going. I'm not going because I'll be working doing other things. I'll be at my other jobs.
Okay.
But it's going to be there. We're going to have the premiere here soon. I'll let you know as soon as that comes out. And we're going to be at Playhouse Theater starting at the end of this month. I star as Harriet Tubman in Harry and the Thief.
Oh, wow.
It is a hilarious comedy and satire about Harriet Tubman's life. And it takes a little bit of time travel where someone is traveling back in time to load Harriet Tubman up with guns so that she can take command over the United States and become the first female Black president. And so it's a spin on everything, but it's going to be really exciting and a lot of fun. And there's some amazing talents in the play. I mean, the singing and the production, Marcus McWhorter, who's the director at ACC, is just incredible. So we're really excited about that. I've been so blessed. One of the things about going vegan it's helped me be in tune with my ebb and flow of my life. And so being a mom and a wife and a chef and an actress and a model and all of these things, and everyone's like, how do you have time? And I'm like, there's a calendar. And I write things on it.
And any other vegan lifestyle or food service company?
The thing that is going to be ultimately different about us is our multicultural approach. I've been blessed to work with really amazing partners that actually work at very high levels with corporations on educating corporations on how to speak to Black and brown communities, whether it be via marketing, commercials, CSR work. And so with that background as an agency, we bring that ultimately into the Black Vegan Company. And so speaking to us is ultimately understanding who we are fundamentally and what that means socially as a vegan, just like, you know, how do you educate people on going to a vegan party? How do we do an event based to Black vegans without being offensive, or brown vegans? You know, how do we have the conversation with your abuelita, you know, who's, you know, in her 90s about what she's going to cook for you during Thanksgiving dinner, you know, and why you're doing it, and that you're not trying to hurt her, you know, and that's something sensitive that only we can understand. And so you'll get this authenticity about the nature of who we are and where we come from as people, and where we're trying to drive our people to success in the future. And it's the culture of who we are.
I love it. I think that aspect of your company is like the most important thing, because I know I'm sympathetic and empathetic, but sometimes the delivery is just not there. No. It's like, just do this, just do it. But you really need to be more understanding and be able to communicate it and deliver the message in a way that's they're gonna understand it and not get offended. And it's just such a delicate, it's something that's very challenging, but I'm glad that y'all are tackling that issue. And
it's because we went through it, you know. It's like we have an amazing blog that was in the Houston Chronicle that my business partner Nicole Valadez wrote. It was the 5 stages of grief when telling your Mexican family, when coming out to your Mexican family at Thanksgiving. Like, what do you say to your mother? Like, how do you, like, and when do you say it? When do you have this conversation? When you're sitting at the table and you're not eating anything except for the salad, and you're picking off the meat that's in something else. So you should read that article. It's a great article of like how to break the news to them about coming out the closet about veganism, you know? So it's important. It's really important. And it's a barrier that's in between us and our well-being. So the sooner that we're able to have the tools and the toolkit to survive the brown and Black vegan space, the better we're gonna be as people and as communities. So.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Robin, for taking the time out of your day to come and talk to us and educate us on what you do. And I'm super excited to see how you grow and expand. I mean, this year is going to be a good year.
It is. I'm really excited. Thank you so much for having me and for bringing me in this space. The only reason that I'm even doing what I'm doing is because it's been people like you that have helped me, whether it be with a pop-up or just talking about, you know, what we're doing, whether it was 4 years ago or now, that things are really getting exciting. So I'm nothing without people like you that are sharing the story to our communities, whether it be a community of color or a community of sustainability, which is really important.
So you're welcome, and thank you. And that's it.
Yay!
That's a wrap.